Hello, everybody. Sorry, I think I just coughed into the microphone. So I've got a question that came from a member of the Linchpin community. Hit me up asking for some insight for something he's about to go get involved in. He requested that I not use his name. He wanted to remain anonymous for what hopefully is obvious reasons. And so I'm going to help him out here. And so the question that he asked me was that he has a selection process coming up. He's going to throw his hat in the ring and try to get on board one of the special operations communities here in the world. Involves a lot of rucking, involves a lot of map and compass work. It's very demanding, it's very grueling, and any insight that I could give him in that would be very helpful. So, when we think about intense special operations selection process, miserable, and then you throw on top of it rucking and orienteering, the very first thing that leaps into my mind is Delta Force in the Army. And so, as a former individual from the special operations community myself, but on the more water side as a SEAL, I have my gut feeling as to how I would prepare somebody for Delta Force selection and all that, but I figured, why not get it from the horse's mouth? So I reached out to a good buddy of mine who spent a good number of years at Delta Force, picked his brain, asked him what was appropriate for me to say, what was not appropriate for me to say. He gave some great insight. So this is straight from the horse's mouth from somebody who was there as to how they would recommend somebody blends Linchpin and what's needed to go and throw your hat in the ring for Delta Force selection. So let's just dive right in. So first of all, I wish you luck. I wish you luck. Have a blast. All right, so the cool thing is my buddy, I won't say his name either, my buddy that I reached out to, when he was at Delta just a few years ago, they had a group of individuals there that would get together and he followed Linchpin, and they would do the Linchpin workouts a few times a week together. So that gave me a lot of personal pride knowing that that group of individuals was hitting the workouts and then, doing their job, which we could segment into an entirely different thing, right? Like that group of individuals felt that was adequate, but you've got people these days, I think they need to train 3 hours a day or do some unnecessary competitors training. So funny. We could go down a different rabbit hole. We'll not go down the rabbit hole right now. So this is what he said, and I've got it all written down, and I'll make this just nice and succinct so it'll hopefully live as a useful body of information. So he said he would recommend doing the Linchpin workouts 3 to 4 times a week. We put 5 out a week for individuals. He would recommend doing 3 to 4 Linchpin workouts a week. Ensure that one of those days is a classic heavy day. Then, in addition to that, okay, so this is going to be on top of doing 3 to 4 of the posted Linchpin workouts a week and ensuring that one of those is a classic heavy day. And this was the schedule that he recommended. On Tuesday, go ahead, throw a rucksack on your back. You can have that rucksack weigh 45 pounds. And then you're going to do a 5-mile ruck. Ensure that the ruck you're using is the rucksack that you will use at selection so that you don't get your body used to a different feeling pack, a different fitting pack, how it rides, where your body gets, sore or abrasions on it. You want to get used to the pack that you're going to use. Also, make sure that you're doing these ruck marches, this Tuesday 5-mile ruck march, in both the boots and socks that you will wear during selection as well, for what would be obvious reasons. Get everything used to how you're actually really going to do it in game day. And then today on Tuesday, the point of today's ruck is not to move fast. It's just time rucking, time under tension. And very importantly on this day, do not do it on the road. Go into the woods. Go into uneven terrain. Find hills. Find roots and branches that you have to step over and maneuver, because that's going to be, a part of your life. It's not going to be a beautiful, smooth road. So the boots you'll use, the socks, the rucksack you'll use, and go find some some hilly in the woods terrain, and that's how you're going to do your 5 miles. And again, speed is not the issue today, it's time under tension. A big part as well is going to be orienteering, map and compass work, basically. Yes, GPSs exist and they're wonderful, but a lot of these selection processes, they're going to stress, using a GPS is not stressful. They're going to add added stress to everything that's going on by you having to go from point A to point B and C and D and E and F and however many with good old school map and compass. And so you need to become competent with the map and compass. And in keeping with the theme that we've said, not just any map and compass, ensure you're using the sort of compass that you will use during selection. And I don't know what Delta uses. We used Silver Rangers back in the SEAL teams. I think the Army uses more of a lensatic compass. I don't know if they still do. So do your research. Use the compass that you're actually going to use during selection. Got to become very proficient at this skill, at map and compass work. Get involved in a local orienteering club if that helps, but become really good with a map and compass. And for that Tuesday's ruck in the woods, use this as your opportunity to not only get some time in the woods with the ruck on your back, but during that 5 miles, knock out your map and compass work as well. So move from point A to point B to this ridge, to that finger, to that, whatever it happens to be, and make sure that you actually can hit your points and you know what you're doing. And that'll give you a great opportunity to figure out your pace count as well. So you'll be able to understand your pace count. I remember mine to this day. 66 left foot strikes is 100 meters. That's just what it was for my body type, my leg length, under a normal pace, under undulating terrain. But you're going to need to find yours so that you know it. So that's what Tuesday would be. Then on Thursday, running. Thursday is going to be a running day and not a long, slow distance day. Thursday is going to be fast. It's going to be high intensity. It's going to be a track day. Think 6x400 meter repeats, 8x200, 3x800 meter repeats, taking adequate rest so that you can really hit those at a high intensity. So Thursday is a track day. And he recommended very strongly, speaking from experience, that if you show up to selection, make sure that you show up to selection ready to max out the run portion of the test. Okay, whatever that happens to be. So for the Army PT test, it's a 2-mile run. Special operations communities, they value the run. Let me go ahead and tell you that. They place a high value on the run. It always struck me as funny that a lot of CrossFitters don't do that. They run away from the run, to be ironic. Special operations communities value the run. And so you don't want to start off on a bad foot with the cadre by being slow. So make sure you can max out that run. Not do well, max out the run. So on that 2-mile run, just in case anyone's interested, if you are a 17 to a 21-year-old, current Army, to get 100 points on that, you got to do it in 13 minutes or less. So that's holding 6 minutes and 30 seconds or less per mile for 2 miles in a row. If you're older, the times get a little bit slower. And to give you another time domain, if you find yourself between the 37 and the 41-year-old age bracket, then to get 100 points on the 2-mile run is 13 minutes and 36 seconds. So you get to hold a ballpark, what is that? Like a 6:48 per mile, I believe is what that would be, ish. Do your own math on that. But yeah, 13 minutes and 36 seconds. So run. Become great at running. Become fast. Have speed, have stamina. So that's Thursday, track day. Saturday is going to be another day with a rucksack on your back. Start off maybe at 5 miles, and all the things that we said previously apply. So use the ruck you will at selection, use the boots, use the socks, all that good stuff. This Saturday ruck, although it starts out at 5 miles, as the weeks go by, you're going to be looking to increase the distance on this Saturday ruck. Little bit by little bit, keep adding distance when it's appropriate for you, and get yourself, bust into the double digits a little bit on the distance eventually would be a wonderful goal to be. This one, Saturday's ruck, can be on smoother terrain. It doesn't need to be in the woods over roots and all that kind of a good stuff. Kind of think of like a road ruck march sort of a thing. And so the goal today is going to be to go a bit quicker. So Tuesday we were not concerned about pace. On Saturday we are going to be concerned about pace when that ruck is on your back. The typical U.S. Army standard for having a ruck on your back and covering some distance and like a road march is 15 minutes per mile. Again, we're talking about 45 pounds in the pack. So if we're talking about selection with a community like Delta or something like that, be prepared to certainly never move any slower than that. That should be an understatement. So you're going to be looking to do quicker than that minimum 15 minute per mile standard, and you should ideally build yourself up to being able to hold that pace for a fair distance. Just a really enjoyable, pleasant distance, because that's what selection processes are. My buddy also just wanted to re-emphasize to everybody and reiterate that fitness is your friend. GPP, general physical preparedness, is key to this whole process as well. That's why it's the base, and then we're going to overlay on top of the base these, they're not sport specific, but selection specific items. Okay, and that's it. But you need that GPP base, and you want to maintain your overall fitness base because you're going to be doing a wide range of activities, unknown and unknowable. On top, that's why, you're staying 3 to 4 linchpin workouts a week, and then add this other stuff that I said to it. Ensure you're treating your body well because you're going to be asking a lot from it. Recover, stretch, mobilize, become very knowledgeable and good at taking care of your own body. Treat your body well. Something that he said really stuck out to me as well, because it's what I tell people all the time looking to go to SEAL training or BUDS or whatnot. You want to train, you want to do all this training and be a superhuman robot to show up, right? And that makes sense, but you can most certainly overdo it. And what you don't want to have happen, you want to show up prepared, but you do not want to show up banged up, tired, with overuse injuries or any sort of an injury. You want to show up healthy, because what you're about to put your body through is going to be really, really grueling. And you want to be resilient. And if you show up with some cracks already starting to form, those cracks are going to only expand during training, and they could lead to your body breaking, and then you won't make it to the end of selection. So do not show up injured. Show up healthy. It's only going to go south if you show up in banged up a little bit. Eat high quality food. Eat it in the appropriate quantity, again, because you're going to be asking a lot from your body, and you want to make sure that you are treating it properly. And that is my recommendation, and more importantly, my buddy from Delta, his recommendation as to how he would personally recommend somebody prepares to head forth into the world of Delta selection. So that's it. Good luck. Hope this serves people well, and thanks for all you do.